Darth Portal, what's going on? We'll start in about 8 minutes. But I have a feeling like there's only going to be one contestant. All right, we're about 2 minutes early. Welcome to everybody to the stream. So far, we've got 1 out of 3 possible contestants showing up today. So, what I'm gonna do is, if anybody watching the stream who is going to get the game on Xbox or PlayStation, I thought about a way to give it to you, and that would just basically be me Venmoing you money if you want to participate in this giveaway contest. Because as far as I understand, I'm not able to gift you the game on those platforms currently. If any of you have already pre-ordered the game on Steam, of course, you can always participate in this event, and then if you win, then of course you can refund your portion of it, and then I'll gift it to you. Saves you that $30. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me talk to the one contestant that we have. Ripper, how's it going, man? And Vladislav, okay. How are you? How are you? All right, so this is a Steam giveaway, but I'm opening it up to Xbox and PlayStation under the ability for me to, or using the ability for me to give money like Venmo or whatever. So if you're interested, let me know in the YouTube comments here, and then we'll just give it a couple more minutes, and then I'll start going through the quiz. Cadius, who is one of our participants, the only one who's showing up, said that he would be willing to go through the quiz if that's cool. So. Ripper, I'm doing just fine. I just grilled some chicken and put it in a burrito, and it was delicious. And I've got 7 more of those burritos in the fridge. My name on them. Okay. All right, Jimmy Silly Walk. What's happening? Let me know when you're ready, man. Since Jimmy Silly Walk is our only contestant, he wins by default. But that's okay. He said he still wanted to go through it. I think it would be pretty decent content for us to go through. I cleared all of these questions, or most of the questions, through somebody else in the community, so they should be pretty decent questions to have. Good day, viewers. Welcome, welcome. All right. So I'm gonna have you guys do the answers in the I'm gonna have you guys do answers in the YouTube chat. And then we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Should win by default. Well, listen, let me tell you a quick story before we start then. So I was in band in high school, right? And in our division is based upon how many students you have in the school, how large the school is. The only time we could ever win first place is when we were the only people competing. So we would show up, other schools wouldn't show up, or whatever, and then we would just get first place, so we'd get a trophy. We get a first place trophy for being the only people showing up. More of a participation, really. And that's fine. We still had to compete there, so, you know, in the sport of all things competitive, we'll go ahead and compete here. Okay. But, you know, if anybody wants to chime in with the answers, feel free, since there's only one contestant. It's not really much of a competition. All right, the first question, the Steam giveaway quiz, is how many maps are currently in Orcs Must Die 3? How many maps are currently in Orcs Must Die 3? And that would be unique maps. $18 is not correct. It is Orcs Must Die 3, all of it, with DLC. Even if you didn't include DLC, that wouldn't be correct. Uh, 22 is not correct with either DLC or not DLC. T-Wald 18 is not correct. I'll give you a hint. You can find all of the maps listed on the wiki page. And this is a bit of a trick question because I think I know where you're going with it. 23 is also not the answer. All of the unique maps. 22 is also not the answer. This is also not 23. The DLC did give you 5, so you're right in guessing 23. However, without the DLC, there's more than 18. It's definitely more than 8. And I was hoping this would be a trick question. I was hoping this would be good. I actually added this one in at the very end of me making this PowerPoint. I added this one in because I thought it'd be very cool. 25. 25. Exactly. It is 25. It is 25 because you have 2 endless maps that are only endless. T-Wald, you got it right. So you have the 5, you have like the 18 regular, then you have the 2 extra endless ones, switchbacks and quick paths, that you cannot play normals, which makes it a total of 20 maps for without the expansion, and the expansion gives you the extra additional 5 maps for flyers. Well, you know, it's a number. Okay, second question. Given this image, where on what map is this located? This image here. This is also a tricky one because it took me a while to find it because I was doing work on the wiki page and kind of ran through all the maps just guessing to myself. It is on level 1. Do you know where on level 1 it is? Like top, bottom, right, left. Behind the portal. It is not. It's actually at the bottom of the map, looking outwards, looking south. But there is one other picture I have that is behind the portal, but that's fine. Next one. And this one's a fun one. What map has a door with a health bar, but cannot be attacked or destroyed? So you know when orcs, they go up to a gate and they'll attack it? Other than every map, sometimes, because there's a bug where minions will walk up to the door and not attack them. They're still destroyable. But this one specifically has a door or a gate with a health bar that cannot be attacked or destroyed. Chambers of Pits is not a map. Although it is a map with pits. Yes, this is in the lava pits. The gate that they break down, they normally would go across the bridge and then they'd go to break down the gate. Oh, whoops. Oh, well, well, yeah, so they'll go to break the gate, but if you can actually aggro the enemies to go around, like there's like a little portal thing up on like a ledge with stairs going up it, and there's a gate there, but enemies will never attack it. Generally speaking, they'll never attack it. According to Behemoth, he's had it happen once. But yeah. Okay, next question. It's all right. Next, we got plenty of questions. Well, a handful, maybe like 17 or 18 questions, and they do get more difficult, I think, but we'll see. What map has the shortest path from any spawn gate to the rift? And the spawn gate is the purple, like the purple barrier that you can't cross that the orcs come in through. Oh, frontline is not correct. They've actually got a long ways to travel, but even the distance between the rift and the purple gate, that's still longer than this map. Even if you were to like as the crow flies, or the fire bat flies. And I will say most of these answers are the non-DLC maps, or most of the answers in this are non-DLC answers. Close quarters. Close quarters is a negative. Although that is also a good guess. It is another endless level. It's not the first level. And this is the distance that the minions travel, not like jumping over like the openings or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's still shorter than that. But this one is as the orc walks. And this level is an endless level. which makes it kind of a challenging level, to be honest. Not Switchback. No, Switchback's actually pretty, they've got a pretty far way to travel from either the top gate or the bottom gates, because they gotta walk all the way through it. But it is the same color as Switchback. This is a more advanced map. Sludge shelves. No, it does have a very short top gate to Rift. But that is also incorrect. No, the answer we're looking for is the basement. The top middle gate in the basement is 28 grid squares away from the Rift itself. Basement is the correct answer. Okay. Somebody, one of the voice lines, one of the characters, has this to say. It says, technically, jibs are short for giblets. Who says this line? Forgot about that map, yeah? Whose line is it anyway? Technically, jibs are short for giblets. One of the heroes says this, and this actually may be on the wiki. I'm not sure, under the character. Any guess as to who says technically jibs is short for giblets? Maybe it's Gibbs is short for giblets. And it's probably somebody you don't play very often. No idea? That's okay. It is Kelsey. Kelsey says, technically, jibs is short for giblets. Okay. Next question. This is an easy one. This is an easy one. When is the release date for Orcs Must Die 3 on Steam? July 23rd. And yes, the day it gets released. It's like saying, if somebody asks when's your birthday, you say every year. But yes, the 23rd, this Friday. Okay, next question. What are all the separate damage types there are currently in Orcs Must Die 3, which is not including physics? Physics would be like getting thrown into the lava or thrown into a grinder, one of those trap grinders, or, you know, fall damage, that sort of stuff. It's excluding that. It's just the damage types. You would usually use this for combos. You can either tell me how many there are, or you can tell me what they are. Fire, lightning, arcane, and frost are 4 of them. Yep. And there should be... Okay, physical, yep. And there should be 2 additional ones. So you got physical, fire, lightning, arcane, and frost. Earth isn't an... It is an elemental, but it's not a damage type. 2 other damage types there are. Think of trap upgrades or weapon upgrades. There's a damage type that shows up with that. And then there is a damage type that shows up with flyers that we haven't seen before the flyers. Kinetic. Kinetic, yes. No. Close though. I think it's something sharp. What does this? The magic longbow? The spike wall? The I don't know if the wall blade does. Wind I'd consider being physics, because it's pushing things. And then the saw blade launcher also has an upgrade. Pierce is not a damage type. And headshot's not a damage type either. But it is, there is some to do with the magic longbow, the spike wall, and the saw blade launcher. They add this damage type, and then there's one of those flyers that has a damage type that we haven't seen before. There is a trap coming out that will have this damage type with it as well. So there's 2 damage types you're missing. Not piercing. So for the magic longbow, it's actually bleed. The bleed upgrade is another damage type. And then one of those, yep. Andre got it. Andre got bleeding. And then the last one would be a flyer damage type. And will be added into a trap in the Steam release. I know, even if I say it, I know there's a delay, so yes, Andre, you did get that one. And if you need to, the wiki page should be poison, yes. Acid or poison. I think it's going to be considered acid, which allows, or it kind of debuffs you the way Arcane does to elemental. That's what acid does to physical. So enemies are going to take more damage from physical, or you, if you get hit by this poison or acid. That is correct. Okay, next question. What enemies do not take rift points for entering the rift? This is without the use of rift scroll, because if you use a rift scroll, technically every enemy could walk through. But there is an enemy, the werewolf dudes, yep. The gnolls, the gnoll hunters, and the gnoll grenadiers, when they go through the rift, they don't take any points. There's actually another enemy type that does not take, or another enemy specifically that does not take rift points. Moneybags, exactly. Darth Portal, you got it. Moneybags also does not take rift points when he enters a rift. Sweet. Moneybags and gnolls. Okay, what enemies take more than 1 rift point from the rift? And it's maybe not what you would think. There's technically 4 of them, but you could give me one word and it would be the right answer. Nope. You would think that ogres would, but ogres actually take 1 rift point. Trolls only take 1 rift point. You would also think that trolls do, but they don't. There is an enemy that mathematically makes sense to take more than 1. Oh, this is all Orcs Must Die 3. All Orcs Must Die 3. Elemental, yes, Ripper. Elemental is correct. Fire elementals, earth elementals, Fire Lords, and Earth Lords. That is, they take more than 1 rift point. However, there's one other type of enemy that takes more than 1 rift point. And bomb guys only take 1 rift point. There's one other enemy type that only takes, or that takes more than 1 rift point. And I'll give you a bit of a hint. You don't see them very often. That is a negative. Flyers only take 1 rift point. However, I will say, I'll give you a little bit and then I'll give you another hint. Not Cyclopses, they only take 1. As well as the fire version of the Cyclopses, the Fire Mage. The hint for this would be that there are only 5 of them, and when you play a map, you're only going to see 1 of them. The purple ugly ones with horns. Those would be the fire dudes. I think they look pretty cool, but no. The hint is that there are only 5 of them currently, and you only see 1 of them on a map. Bosses, exactly, bosses. They take 10. Okay, cool. Glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. I don't know. All right. Combo points drop off after 2 seconds except when. So when an enemy walks across a trap like a tar trap or get hit by spikes or across brim, a combo counter shows up. Ugly in a cool way. All right. How'd you forget? I don't know. Bosses is the obvious answer, but that's the thing. I like making this because some of these aren't the most obvious of answers. But this one's a little bit technical. This is a bit of game knowledge. You might have game knowledge from the other Orcs Must Die franchises on this. So, when an enemy takes damage from multiple sources, it starts a combo counter. Now, for each source of damage, it has a lifespan of 2 seconds to be added to other sources of damage to add up to a combo. There's something you can do to the enemies that extend that 2-second duration. Too technical? Okay. Well, if anybody else knows, go ahead and tell me. How do you extend that 2 seconds for the combos? It is a form of crowd control, but not just any crowd control. Auto attacks do not, although if you were to auto attack, and that's to add a point of combo, every time you auto attack, it resets it. You can kill them, but that doesn't extend the 2 seconds. That just uses up the combos. You could stun them, but that does not extend it either. Stun like crossbow. Yeah, stunning them does add a combo, but it does not extend their previous combos for that 2-second duration. I'll give you a little bit, and I will say the hint is actually in the picture. There's a hint in the picture. Flip, yes. Flip trap. Fear does not, although fear is a very good way to add a combo because it'll send enemies back through a kill box. But flipping, if they are airborne or if they are prone. So when you flip them, they become airborne. When they land, before they stand up, they're considered prone. And that will suspend that 2-second countdown. So flipping an enemy through a kill box or sending them in the air through a kill box is actually one of the best ways to get high scores. All right. Sweet. How many non-damaging effects can you have on an enemy at a given time? Non-damaging effects. Now, we had just talked about it. Airborne is one of them. Technically, if it falls more than 7 grid squares, which would be like 7 barricades stacked on each other, they would take damage. But for all intents and purposes, airborne enemies, that is one of those kinds of effects that you can have that don't do any damage. Slow is one of them, yep. Slow, stun, freeze, airborne, fear. Yeah. Yep. And I will take that as the answer. What I have written down, I forgot to put slow, but brittle. Brittle is either if they're frozen or if they're stoned. If they're stoned, they take extra physical damage. If they're frozen, they take extra physical or ice damage. However, freezing, you don't have to do damage to freeze them. You can use the right mouse button on the ice amulet. Of course, stone staff is right mouse button. And then you have the stun, right mouse button on crossbow, doesn't do damage. You have airborne, which is flip trap, doesn't do damage by itself. You have confused, fear, and charmed. Those three are together. Confuse is with the right mouse button of the wand, or well, it doesn't do damage, but it does, you know, people will attack them. You've also got the confusion flower. You got the charm through the window of the butterfly, and you have the fear from the jar of ghosts. Those all do not do damage. So a good way to rack up combos is to kind of combine all of those with something that kills and get a good amount of combos. Okay, fire burns, arcane debuffs, and ice freezes. What effect does electricity have? And this was true in the other renditions of at least Unchained. I don't know about 1 or 2 if electricity did the same thing, but I would imagine it would. So fire burns, arcane debuffs, and ice freezes. What effect does electricity have? Electricity does not confuse. It can stun with the trap itself, but electricity does not always stun. Sometimes it'll look like there's like a short, like a static discharge. Explode on kill. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, it does do like a very minor stun sometimes, but explode on kill happens every time. So when a enemy who is electrified dies, then they do a very small area of effect damage, which used to cause problems. Barricades, but not anymore. So, but yes, you are correct in saying that stun does it. They also do get somewhat stunned. Okay. What is the one way to get enemies, such as orcs, through a portal? So there's plenty of maps with portals. If you do like split stairs, there's portals on both sides. Did not wiki that at all. Well, hey, the information's there. You can go through the portal yourself, and that'll take you to another part of the map, right? They're everywhere. But no, hey, it's an open book. I can't see what you're doing. Use the wiki if you want. Not all the information's on the wiki, but some of it is, yeah. Push traps, flip traps. You cannot flip or push them into the portals. And they do not walk there on their own. Wind belt. Yep. You can use a wind belt, but how do you use the wind belt? I guess I'll tell you. That's a little bit too technical, maybe. Yes, you have to use the right mouse button on the wind belt to pick up an enemy, and then you can walk through the portal, and the enemy will come with you. You cannot push them with the wind belt. You actually have to pick them up. Cool. Next question. What 2 maps is it impossible to die on without the help of enemies? Meaning there are no... there's no hazards. For example, in the very first one, you can jump off of the ledge into the lava, and you can die. But there are 2 maps where you are unable to do this. And they are non-DLC maps. Coastal hallways, you can jump off and die. The player is the only hazard. Split stairs. Split stairs, you can jump off and die next to the, in between the 2 stairs. Firestorm, am I going to play some maps? I got plenty of stuff on my YouTube channel for me playing maps, but today, for this, I'm not. This is part of a Orcs Must Die 3 Steam giveaway. Yeah, at the bottom of the stairs, you can jump off into the goo, or whatever it is, the bright blue goo. I will say that these are probably the 2 of the hardest maps there are. Master's Courtyard is one of them. It's actually where this picture is taken from. Master's Courtyard is one of them. The other one may be the most challenging map in Orcs Must Die 3. Because Master's Courtyard, there's nowhere to fall into, and stepping into the grinders, they won't kill you. Basement, you can jump off the basement and fall into the goo. It's actually a more challenging level than the basement. In my opinion, it's probably the hardest map, just at all. And there's no flyers. It is a regular pre-DLC map. Aqueducts. Aqueducts is not correct. It is also one of those DLC maps. But yes, you can jump off of the thing in Aqueducts. Is there a shotgun as a weapon? There is a shotgun as a weapon. It's Kelsey's primary weapon. And Jimmy, the other map, is Coliseum. I think it used to be possible to kill yourself in the grinder. But if you stand on the grinder at the very edge of it, you'll actually just keep going in circles around the grinder. So it is a wild ride. But Coliseum is the other map you cannot kill yourself on without the help of enemies. Okay, what is my favorite trap of all time? I've said it many times in many streams and videos and on Discord and on Reddit. It is my favorite trap of all time. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a new trap coming out, and I'm looking forward to it. Not the Haymaker, it's coming out. It's going to be in the Steam release or the Xbox or PlayStation release. It's not going to be, nope, not the Lightning Ray, although I'm assuming you're talking about the Lightning Ceiling Trap. This thing right here, and that is not correct. It's not the Poison Trap, although I am excited for it. I don't know what to expect from the Poison Trap, so I don't know if it's going to become my favorite trap, but this trap has been around on all of the games, I think. At least the second Unchained and this game coming out in this newest update. Behemoth, how's it going? I think we're towards the end. Floor Scorchers, they're good. I use them a lot, but they're not my favorite map or my favorite trap, but they are a good trap. And I encourage you to use them, especially for lots and lots of orc killing. The boom barrel roller. That's the answer. Can't wait, because you can layer them all over walls, up to the ceiling, and they're gonna all be effective. Just the efficiency of the trap is such a good trap. I can't wait for it to come out. Boom barrel is correct, Ripper. You got it. And that concludes this quiz. So, Jimmy, I'll contact you on Discord and see how I can gift you the game. Thanks for participating, everybody, on YouTube. I was going to have a second portion of it for the contestants because I had 5 lined up. But since we only have 1 contestant, there's no reason to do the second part of it. It was an Unchained. Yes, it was an Unchained in 2, but I don't know if it was in 1, the boom barrel roller. So the second thing I was going to do is have you guys, or have the contestants play any map of their choosing. They have to use Kelsey or Gabriella, and they have to get the highest score combo, and it'll be like a 30-minute time thing, and then they just produce to me a picture of the highest combo they've received. And if there's a tie, it'd be the most creative, and the YouTube would decide, the YouTube audience would decide which one's the most creative. But since we only got 1 contestant, we don't need to do that. So Jimmy, I'll contact you, and the rest of you, thanks for stopping by. I'll be uploading another video tonight of a Rift Room Rumble. There wasn't. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was. I didn't play 1 very much, but I knew they were in 2. Yes, they're very fun. And I can't wait for them to come out. There's so many maps that they're just going to be wonderful on. But yeah, the rest of you guys, there's going to be another video coming out tonight. Wait, Darth Portal says wait. Okay. I'm here to answer any questions. I'm not in a hurry to get off. But I want to make sure I can gift Jimmy his thing. Thought I was the first one. Did I have you... Did you message me on Steam? Or I'm not on Steam. I mean, Discord? Launch stream happening, I assume. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Jimmy. Okay. Darth, go ahead and message me on Discord. You just gotta be in the Orcs Must Die 3 Discord, and then you'll find me in the bug report, most likely. That's where I was last. Just message me through Discord. Because I was going to give away, yeah, and that was part of it, is to give you guys some knowledge, so that way you can be successful, and that way it becomes easier to run through the map on Steam whenever it comes out. But Darth, I was going to give away 2 keys, since only one person only needed to give away 1 key, but if you were also interested, just message me on Discord. And then I'll give one to the both of yous. Yeah. Take the knowledge, and run with it. Yeah, so Darth, I'll be looking out for your message on Discord. Jimmy, I'm going to message you on Discord, see how we can connect up with our Steam, and then I'll gift you guys the game. All right, y'all take care, and look for the new video coming out today. And thanks for stopping by. Everybody stopping by. Don't forget to leave a like, comment if you haven't. Subscribe, of course, always, and check out the links in the description for the Discord. New challenge on Cliffside map. Wave 3 is very nice. Okay, I'll check it out. I believe you. All right, cheers, guys.